What is going on YouTube? Today we are going to obtain the Platinum Trophy for the new Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League game. This game still doesn't have any guides to follow, so we are going in completely blind and have to wing it. Suicide Squad has 51 trophies total, including our 34th Platinum. Despite the controversy, I did enjoy most of the game. However, it is one of those games where, as of right now, the Platinum nearly ruins it. Personally, I would put this game at a solid 5 for difficulty because there is a few specific trophies that pretty much require you to play into the harder difficulties and build spec. This is for the late game, and late game plays like an entirely different game than the story. As for time to complete, I would say you're looking at around 40 hours maybe, depending on if you utilise strategies for XP and bonuses. Fortunately, it does only require one playthrough as there are no missable trophies, just one hell of a grind after the story. Overall, I really enjoyed the game for its story mode and its gameplay, despite the fact that there isn't really a proper ending, due to the seasons and the game completely changing come endgame, and it is very bare bones and on a mission repeat model. Bruh. There is enough there to play for a short period of time, but not enough variety, so it gets rough when you want that platinum and have the attention span of a goldfish. I bet this will only get easier with time as more missions are added and no doubt exploits are found. Anyway, let's jump into the story, which I am playing co-op with a friend. We will aim to be doing all the side stuff as and when it appears to avoid a big clean-up stage. As we are getting introduced to the characters and their movesets, we complete the tutorial, lock in our first character Boomerang, giving us a flashback and our first trophy. Now we get to see the band of misfits in prison prior to being picked to handle a very dangerous operation. I'm not going to say what happened once we broke out of the handcuffs, but I think these screenshots will be enough.
Huh? Hey yo!
We then get introduced to Will Smith's husband, who proceeds to endgame us immediately. After waking up on this train, which then immediately crashes, we then have to make our way up to the surface. The team end up in the Hall of Justice, which has a lot of memorabilia and prototypes for the Justice League, which we then immediately steal. This unlocks our traversal abilities, giving us a trophy. Upon making our way outside, we are greeted with Brainiac's destruction, who will end up being the true villain. He essentially collects worlds. Brainiac is controlling the Justice League members' minds and is able to use their bodies and powers. As it's technically Brainiac's and not the heroes in control, they are a bit weaker than they normally would be. At least that's what I've interpreted anyway. So the main story involves basically killing the Justice League, and Brainiac is the endgame content. This nice view is shortly interrupted as Green Lantern proceeds to kidnap us and show us a civilian get no-scoped. We are interrupted by the Flash.
I'm gonna tell my mom! I'm gonna tell my dad! What your dad gonna do? Fuck your mom. Mommy!
Flash does get whooped and we proceed to chase him down to ask a few questions. We are then ambushed and have to take the Flash with us. After a chat, Boomerang accidentally chops his finger off trying to hold him up. To make things worse, we conveniently ended up in the Arkham exhibition where we get to meet another member of the mind-controlled Justice League. That's right, Batman is conveniently chilling inside this building and he proceeds to kill some civilians.
Better scramble like an egg before you get folded like an omelet.
Boomerang does the sensible thing and decides to throw the Flash out for him to fight. It was all in vain as the team proceeds to get slapped around the exhibition by Batman. As we are out for the count, Batman is about to finish the job when yet again, the Flash saves the day by knocking Batman as he is about to shoot Harley. If this was Ezra's Flash, then it would have definitely only been for his questionable side hustles.
Hold up!
Batman then proceeds to steal our boy and just skedaddles out of there. After that beating, we are then awarded our next trophy. This exhibition has a lot of great references to the Arkham games and was a very cool part of the story. We can get a trophy here, but I'm going to save that and come back for it to pop the platinum. Next up is to head back to the Hall of Justice and break into the chambers using Flash's finger. While in here, Wonder Woman gives us our second whooping in the space of 15 minutes and manages to get the most relatable moment out of Boomerang.
Explain yourself.
I mask my insecurities with drink and bad behavior. Oh.
Will Smith's husband saves the day, however.
Hey yo!
And we prat around while she explains some basic points of the game. We then suit up and get ready to head out. The first objective we have to do is go and recruit Penguin. He is going to help us with weapons and crafting, which went as well as expected. After kidnapping Penguin and throwing him into this free candy van, we earn our next trophy. Next, we are shown that unfortunately, the Riddler has been kept in for the collectibles, and we need all of these and to 3-star every race for trophies. Progressing the story more, we meet Rick Flag driving a Fortnite bus, and he then gives us a Pokeball which we can use to capture civilians. So naturally, our next objective is to go kidnap people and bring them back to the battle bus for safekeeping. The squad are then introduced to a guy called Gizmo, who is a mad mechanic, and he crafts us a flying car with rocket launchers on it. I have to say, this thing is so fun to use. After infiltrating LexCorp, we then get to meet Poison Ivy. However, for some reason, she was completely invisible for the next few cutscenes, and we don't actually get to meet her for a bit, but we do get a trophy. While we're talking about this glitch, let's show you some peak video game performance. Here we can't physically access the shop because Penguin won't get up.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
Catch me outside, how about that?
Now, after completing a few missions, we have a nice run of trophies. This one is story based, the next one was for leveling to level 10, and the third one was for collecting my 10th Riddler trophy. Some story progress later, we are now tracking down the Flash, who has worked on getting this cannon to Metropolis. We then get stripped down by the Flash as we try to stop the cannon, and when we destroy it, we get our next trophy. Shortly after, we get to watch Lex Luthor get sent back to the lobby. After that mess, we then go and complete some more races to unlock the Turn and Turn Again trophy. While heading to the next mission, we nearly get quickscoped from across the whole map. Back at the Hall of Justice, I overhaul a piece of gear for this easy trophy.
3, 2, 1, go!
We then easily complete some side missions to level up and get another trophy. Now we are ready to kill the Flash after building some ability dampening devices. So we taunt him to lure him out, and we begin a very underwhelming boss fight where we just have to parry after a certain attack. Sometime later we hit him with a no-scope and put an end to the fastest man alive, netting us a trophy. Boomerang ended up giving him a golden shower just to top it off. A little bit of story progress later, we get to meet a different Lex Luthor from another Earth, and we are awarded our next trophy. With some tech from Luthor, we decide to go after the Green Lantern next. This fight was a bit better than the Flash, still the same counter-attack premise, but he had more move variety. Many counters and bullets later, we managed to take down Green Lantern for a trophy. King Shark then uses the Green Lantern ring to expose Brainiac's ship. At this point, Will Smith's husband just decides to nuke the entire ship and city, which will kill literally everyone. This doesn't go to plan, however, and she gets ambushed shortly after for her actions, so she ends up calling us to save her. We naturally took a little bit longer getting there, and she died.
This is exactly what I've been waiting for.
After restarting the checkpoint, we ended up getting there and saving her in the next go. On the way back to the Hall of Justice, we get to watch a very epic fight between Wonder Woman and a mind-controlled Superman. Wonder Woman gets absolutely rinsed, and we try to help, which goes about as well as you could expect.
Oh, you shouldn't have done that, Shark. That's Superman. He'll kick
I
your
can't believe
ass.
you've done this.
Shortly after, Wonder Woman then bites the dust, literally. After that big L we just took, we decided we need to regroup and get a new attack plan. But before we put that in motion, let's quickly knock out another race to pop our next trophy. On with the story, we basically don't have a plan, so we end up going to the Batcave and hoping to use Batman's contingency plans. Unfortunately, Batman does ambush us in the cave and switches off the lights. However, Harley comes up with a plan. Knowing that fear toxin has a lower chance of affecting them than Batman due to their insanity, she decided to just flood the entire room with it. Doing so takes everyone into my favourite boss fight of the whole game, as it was something different. After a few minutes of shooting Batman and dodging Sieg's lasers, we then end the fight and get blinded. After, we are greeted with a very unconscious Batman. So we put him in the Pokeball, and we then take him to Lex Luthor to help develop something to battle Superman. While doing that, we decide to go complete some side objectives and net ourselves 2 trophies. First one was for getting Boomerang to the max level, so the next squad member I picked was King Shark. We then complete the last of Penguin's side missions for this trophy. With them both done, we head back and collect our new kryptonite weapons and a barely breathing Batman, so we can go and attempt to lure Superman out. While there, Batman wakes up a bit and decides to have a little rap battle with Harley, which he somehow loses, and the punishment was quite savage. After discussing how we should use our kryptonite,
How about we shove these gold kryptonite bullets right up his ass? Ew! What the fuck?
Superman turns up and does not seem that angry in all honesty, but we fight him anyway. This was probably the worst boss battle in the whole game in my opinion. It followed the same wait for a certain move and counter routine, but I just expected more from Superman. Eventually though, we do gun him down for our next trophy, and I don't know what happened here, but I think Superman technically killed himself. And with that, the main story of the game was complete.
Do you feel it?
However, not officially, as we still have Brainiac to go after, but they have designed him to essentially be a rinse and repeat endgame thing. Some cutscenes later, we are then introduced to the endgame. This is where the game completely pivots and becomes a number tracking, build specking nightmare. Basically, lots of maths.
Oh my god!
We're going to start off with a little bit of cleanup, starting with the final 3-star Riddler race. We then complete the final Lex Luthor side mission, complete the final Hack support mission, we then complete Gizmo's final side mission. This ended up being a big mistake as there was an XP farm on the final mission and you cannot replay this one. With some missions and trophies smashed out, we then wanted to try and take on Brainiac. His mission consists of 2 side missions basically, which you get in the open world, and then you can fight Brainiac himself. However, he literally clones himself with some of Flash's DNA, and it is just a repeat of the Flash fight with occasional waves of enemies. Truly peak gaming. After a solid 10 minutes of just that, we finally beat him and was able to Pokeball him in for interrogation. We take him back to Mum and Dad, but they instantly made him a unicorn and sent him back to the lobby before we can even ask him any questions. I did also check, as this mission is forced to be repeated. They do it again, and it's the exact same cutscene. Bruh. Now the true grind has actually been unlocked. That's right, we barely scratched the surface of our playtime so far. My friend dipped out at this point and I was solo. I honestly don't blame him. We are talking countless hours replaying the same 3 missions over 100 times, and then the collectibles and so much more. So let's go through what I had to do in this final part of the game. First, we complete our first incursion mission. Right after, we equip this gun, giving us our first villain synergy. Next, I complete 50 support contracts, which are basically challenges. Then, we do Poison Ivy's final mission, followed by Toyman's final mission. Shortly after, we then max out King Shark. Then, we go and elite a piece of gear for this trophy. Supercharge a different piece of gear for this trophy. We then went and solved all of the riddles for these 2 trophies. I do have a video out showing how to get these in 5 minutes if you happen to need it. Shortly after, we also collect the last Riddler trophy. I also mapped these out in the video I just mentioned. Brainiac then sends us a very sus message.
Come for me.
We complete a Mastery level 5 mission. We complete more challenges for this trophy. We finally equip 3 pieces of our first tier of Infamy armor, followed by getting Deadshot to max level. At this point, I was starting to get burned out, as the only way to get these trophies are to replay the same 3 missions over and over again. Best part yet, we still had to max out Harley, get to Mastery level 20, and then obtain a further 50 levels in squad rank while being limited to the same few missions.
Cool, that's awesome and all. How did it even make it to live servers?
Powering through, we then unlock the trophy for completing an incursion on Mastery level 10. After swapping to Harley and getting our cheeks clapped, I decided to swap back to Deadshot so we can power through some squad levels for passive XP bonuses. While doing this, I had another good run of trophies. First, we eliminated 10 hit squads that appear after completing late game challenges. We equipped 3 pieces of 2nd tier Infamy sets, finally completed 100 support contracts, and then complete a Mastery rank 15 mission. So far we're about 10 hours into repeating the same missions, and at this point I wish this would happen in real life. Eventually we finish this mission and we do get the Mastery Level 20 trophy. We equip 3 pieces of the 3rd tier Infamy set, and at last we get Harley to max level. So now our final objective was to grind squad level 50, and I was not even halfway there. I have made a video on the best methods and tips I use to farm the XP and reach this rank. At the moment, there is no quick and easy way to do this apart from Gizmo's mission by the sounds of it, and I was very burnt out. If you happen to be going for the platinum and hitting a wall with leveling, feel free to check it out. After using those tips in that video and prepping up to higher mastery ranks, the method I used did require a little bit of preparation, but it was by far netting me the most XP. Eventually, after 5 or so hours of grinding, we was able to get to mastery rank 35, where we were netting around 78k XP. We then locked in at mastery level 30 for 70,000 XP a run. Then 15 hours later, we were finally able to achieve the squad rank 50 and get this trophy. Next, it's time to return to the Batman exhibition to collect our final trophy, which we saved from earlier, and with that, popped the juicy platinum trophy. Overall, I did thoroughly enjoy the main part of the game. I thought the story and combat was great, the characters and the world was also great. The big letdown is the way the game completely changes come endgame and lacks a serious amount of content, which made the platinum very tedious. Best thing I can compare it to is the story mode is essentially Gotham Knights in a lot of aspects, and then it completely pivots to a Marvel Avengers style game after killing the Justice League. I'd give the game a whole a 7 out of 10. The foundation is there, but they have cut a lot of corners. The platinum experience on release, however, is a solid 3 out of 10 due to spending 30 hours in the same missions. If you enjoyed the video, I want to see more platinum experiences, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Comment below if there are any games you want to see me go for, and I will catch you in the next one.
我很喜欢冰淇淋。